Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Ad Lib Podcast. Today is episode number 95. It's good to be back. And with me, as always, is Mr. Franco Rizzo. How's it going, Franco?
Hello, everyone. It's Frentini Rizzano, the internet busiest film nerd. How you doing, everyone? What a busy and a wet Monday as well. I hope your Monday was not as busy, but obviously not as wet. But unfortunately, it was wet. Enough yapping now.
Your
Let's
Monday
start
was
the episode today. We have to do a quick round 1 hour, 60 minutes, 1 hour, a full 60 minutes of talking about movies, talking about not many games today, right?
No, nothing much with regard to game. To be honest, not much time to play with
Yeah.
everything going on right now.
Because obviously Andrea studying film. He's becoming more of a professional, and now he's gonna abandon us and tell us you're all amateurs. And by the way, I don't know why they're allowing you to talk. You're a teacher. You should ask permission to talk first.
That's true. Thankfully, it's just about education, so I can't give my opinion on education on this podcast anymore. I need permission to give my opinion about education. Isn't that an interesting...
Yes, only dik biex titkellem.
Please, sir, can I talk about my job? It's ridiculous, obviously. It's absolutely ridiculous. But it is what it is. It is what it is, the way it is right now.
So we have for watching. Say hi, guys. We don't bite. Say hi to us in chat and what you have been up to. And speaking of what you have been up to, Andrea, what have you been up to? How have you been doing?
So the week has been crazy. The week has been very, very crazy. But thankfully, a crazy week for me now means watching lots of stuff, because now I actually have to watch it. It's not like, if I feel like I watch something, now I actually have to watch stuff. So I've been watching a lot of films, lots of Shakespeare adaptations, because we have film adaptation, lots and lots of Shakespeare adaptations, like Orson Welles' Othello, for example. Some documentaries as well. I watched the documentary Letter from Siberia. I had it for sound, which was very good. Don't know if you've ever heard of it, Franco. It's very good. Picnic at Hanging Rock. We had a lecture about Picnic at Hanging Rock. Very, very good. Actually, you can show my whole letterbox, and I had to bring it up to remember. Obviously, today we'll be talking a little bit about Anora. Of course, Joe reviewed it last week, but we'll be talking a little bit about it later on. The Outrun we will review. Did you watch the Outrun, Franco?
No, only a different man. I've watched. So to mention quickly what I've watched a very interesting movie, short, a sweet 70 minutes, called Beyond the Infinite 2 Minutes. Again, it's a movie about time travel and time. So again, that's the sweet spot for me, and it was amazing. Like, I'm really, what the review for me is like Beyond the Infinite 2 Minutes. That's the one.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to see like how they did it, because it was so interesting. And then I watched the follow up, like a similar conceit with 2 minutes, not as endearing, unfortunately, because it tends to be repetitive. But basically, it's about a spa in somewhere in a small town in Kyoto, where basically they get stuck in a 2 minute time loop. So the whole move is like they notice that they're in a time loop, and they try to change here and there. But I preferred this one much more, and this is one take as well. And again, I want to see what you think of it.
Is this the second one? This is the other one, right? Yeah, I recognized this. Yeah. Anything else, Franco, you've been watching this week?
We watched Anora together. A very solid movie, very fun and entertaining movie.
Actually, why not talk about Anora now, Franco, as we're at it? Since we're going to give quick comments about it. What do you think about Anora?
Oh, I mean, excellent performances throughout. It's so naturalistic. I love the way Sean Baker treats his characters with almost no judgment whatsoever, and then he lets you come up with your own conclusions. Funny as hell. And then obviously after, Maltese, we say after the laughter comes crying. Like this is a perfect example of what a duck is Biki, and because that ending was heart-wrenching. Francesca can say because her eyes teared up, but it is a truly emotional ending. Like it's a good gut punch.
Indeed,
And
indeed.
and the cinematography, you mentioned cinematography, and again, now I have to check the others. I haven't watched Florida Project and Red Rocket,
I
and
watched Red Rocket. It's about a male porn star. To be honest, I completely forgot about it. But I had watched Red Rocket. The others I haven't watched, Florida Project and Tangerine, but they're on my Plex. I'm going to find the time to watch them. Maybe I have some free time in the weekend. I'll try and get onto them.
Bruce McAuliffe,
Hello,
the video
Bruce.
nasty guy. Speaking of video nasties, guys,
Yes, we have a
soon enough.
lot of things we need to mention. Go ahead,
So
Franco.
now I was going to mention the first thing, Indie Dog, guys. We have finally a home for all the short movies that are produced in Malta. It's called indiedogfilm.com.mt.
Talking
Is it?
about Bruce.
Talking about Bruce. Yes, his film of the week is Son
Son
of
of
God,
God.
with the always lovely Bernard Satariano. He makes a great priest. I
He
mean,
does, he does, he does.
he does.
And it's so
And
good, Franco, to see Bernard even in this version of Video Nasties, to see him branching out of just like in Son of God, he had a very dramatic role. We've seen him in a lot of comedic roles, so I mean, showing that he has the
Ray,
range,
he
a
has
real
great.
range, and he's done very good in like pure horror role as well, in a pretty much a pure horror role as well. So
Exactly.
that's really impressive, the range that Bernard has. Very, very, very good stuff from
And
Bernard.
another thing on Indie Dog, which you can see, is the teaser of Il Kunsil Locali.
Yes.
And we wanted to mention that Jeremy Vella, the director, is doing a crowdfunding campaign on zar.com.mt. Make sure to give how much you can manage to give, because it's, I mean, imagine a more brazen office. And it's like we watched the original, like the the pilot episode on the April Fool's Short Film Festival, which is another thing we have to mention. Make sure that you also try and participate. It's soon. I think hasn't been announced yet, Bruce.
It has kind of been. I mean, it's in the pipelines. It's not like official. But Richard had mentioned that, go ahead, start working on it. Like, it's definitely
Exactly.
going to happen.
Start wrecking your brains. Start coming up with those comedic juices, and let's
Okay, so
have.
it has been officially announced from Richard. Okay.
Yep. So there's also the April Fool's Short Film Festival. This was shown on last year's April Fool's. Was last year's the first one?
I believe so. I believe it was the
True.
first April's
Yep.
Fool show. I believe. I might be wrong.
So here comes the second, and
And
yep,
also, Franco, we want to mention Jamie Cardona.
Jamie
Congrats to
Cardona.
Jamie Cardona. As you can see
53
here.
shows.
Record
53.
for longest local run, which is really impressive stuff. Like, really, really impressive stuff. So congrats to Jamie Cardona, massive talent.
And do try to find the time to watch this display. Just a word of warning: don't take care of the front row, because you see some plumbing, basically.
Yeah. Display Midjarju ta' student fi skola tal-Knisja, which is interesting. I went to a church school in my secondary and sixth form as well. So I think I can empathize pretty much with Jamie's experience there as well.
Empathize and identify.
And
Like most of us
completely
went to church schools, basically.
Yeah.
Well done, Jamie, and keep it going.
100%. And of course, well done to Vikesh. He's the director
yeah,
of the play.
that's right.
Vikesh was in my school year. Was also at university for my when I was doing my bachelor's in English and in history. Very good guy. I really like the guy. He's a massive talent as well, directing lots of plays in the UK. Vikesh is a massive talent. One of the best in Malta, to be honest.
Yep.
So not surprised at all that Vikesh and Jamie Cardona are doing amazing stuff. I mean, it's expected from them, to be honest, from two great talents. So those, I think that was pretty much kind of like our homework for the day. Now, today, viewers and listeners, we've got quite a lot to talk about. We've got a few trailers, some we'll mention and we'll just mention quickly, and a couple we will focus on. We've got Thunderbolts, Mufasa, Captain America, Brave New World, and obviously Mission Impossible 8, The Final Reckoning, to have a look at. We've got some Star Wars news. We'll look at episodes 10, 11, and 12, or are they going to be episodes 10, 11, and 12? We'll look at that. Also, we've got Andor Season 2 to talk about. Nosferatu as well. Some very, very good news with regard to Nosferatu and the first reactions to that. With regard to reviews, I'll be giving you a quick review for Disclaimer. Also a quick review for The Penguin. Both had a season finale for The Penguin, because I believe there will be a season 2 for The Penguin, and a series finale for Disclaimer, with episode 7 releasing this weekend. With regard to film reviews then, like we mentioned, Anora, Franco went through that. We'll be talking also about A Different Man and the Outrun. I'll be reviewing that at the end of the podcast. So let's get straight into it, starting off with trailers from D23 Brazil. So obviously in Malta we had Comic-Con. By the way, I had a very good time in Comic-Con. I went to Comic-Con on Saturday morning. Had a really, really good time. Both me and Tristian, we had a blast, really, really good time. Lots of great art. Met friend of the show, Yella, of course, there, and got some really beautiful artwork from her. She is such a talent, man. Her art, if I could buy all her art, I would. Unfortunately, I'm not rich. If I was, I would buy all her art, because she really has, like, her work is so authentic and so... Oh, it's so beautiful. I love it.
She also has, is it a graphic novel or
yes,
a short?
She does. She was showing it there. She was showing it there as well, yes.
See, so much talent, so little time and so little money. No, guys. Support as much as possible. Again, like, as we say, it's like every little counts. And again, check out Yella's work. I think is it available on her website?
I believe so. I'm sure. I'm pretty sure it is. I mean, she shows a lot of her work on Instagram, so you can check it out there.
Exactly.
But to get into the trailers at D23 Brazil, obviously lots of stuff from Marvel and from Disney, basically. That's why I mentioned Marvel and some Avatar news as well, but that we can skip, to be honest. Beautiful work, Yella from Tristian. Yes, Tristian was with me, and we loved her work. We love her work, not loved. I love her work to this day. Thunderbolts showcased another trailer, and we already reacted to the first trailer. Franco, I don't know if there's anything you want to mention about this particular trailer that we had for Thunderbolts. Is there anything in particular you want to mention?
No, I didn't watch it, like, because 3 minutes of a trailer. No, I don't want to watch it. I think I'd rather go in as blind as possible and see it when it comes out. Like we saw the action coming out. Looks like I said last time, looks great. I mean, looks very, like, it seems like a bit of a darker tone than the usual. Well, who's this directed by? Russo? No.
So, Jack Schreier. Jack Schreier. What did Jake Schreier do? Franco, do you know?
Jack Schreier. Let me check quickly in the meantime.
So just to give my thoughts while Franco looks up what Jake Schreier has worked on before. The trailer, with regard to how long it is actually 1 minute and 24 seconds. Is one scene in particular. The scene is a very impressive scene, to be honest. Great humor in the car. Florence Pugh, David Harbour playing off each other really well. And Wyatt Russell there as well as you know, the fake Captain America, of course. The action looks very grounded. Action looks great. I think I'm really shocked And this is something I told Franco when I looked at this trailer, and I looked also at the Captain America and Mufasa trailers at the same time. I was like, I can't believe that you have a Lion King trailer, we have a Captain America trailer, and that Thunderbolts trailer, and the best out of the three is the Thunderbolts trailer. But the action actually looks grounded, and we're going to look at the Captain America trailer then. It's complete opposites, because this actually feels grounded. This feels like the car is actually exploding here in this particular scene, and it's like, it's practical. It looks very practical, and okay, maybe the location isn't that interesting, but at least you can. It feels, even this flip, it looks great. It looks really cool. So overall, quite promising stuff. You were going to mention Franco.
So Jake Schreier, he made Robot and Frank and Paper Towns, but he also, interestingly enough, was executive producer for Beef and directed 6 episodes of Beef. So I think as far as as far as character relationship goes, he might be doing well. And I don't know if he did any other.
That explains why there's such a good dynamic between them then, because we've seen in Beef how well he does with awkward but humorous situations, which then explode, right? And situations like these, then, a good director. Where's the scene with all of them in the room?
On the left, yeah.
I don't know if I'll manage to find it, but this particular scene, for example, where they're all discussing and it's very awkward and tense, you get that from a good director like Jake Schreier, who obviously beautifully directed Beef, one of the best series from when was Beef? Was that this year or last year?
Last year.
Damn.
Already.
Okay, damn. So that is Thunderbolt. Actually, the most promising trailer from these 3, obviously not including Mission Impossible, because that's its own thing.
Yeah.
Mufasa. I mean, I'm going to be honest, Frank, I'm a little worried about some of the CGS on this. Now, maybe it's still early days, but there was one particular scene when we see the white line jumping, and it looked really off. It looked really, really off.
The problem with this movie is there you cannot how much. This is from Corridor Crew, is how much do you have to go in a cartoon? You can't give animal characters human emotions, but if you're going for a realistic portrayal of animals, how much can you give them human emotion, like human facial expressions?
Yeah,
so there's a
and the uncanny valley of it all as well. It looks, I don't know, it's weird.
I mean,
I don't get this whole CG. Why does this need to be CG? Like, I just make it a normal animated classic.
Like Wild Robot. Oh, yeah. What the fudge is Barry Jenkins doing this? Money. Most probably, so that he can do another Moonlight. So
one for me, one for them. And this is the one for them, right? I imagine, Bruce. This is the one for them. Unfortunately,
I hope so.
And he takes the money and then makes another great film, and then a great personal film.
It's like we've seen right now. Like I don't know why Disney's going this route when we're seeing DreamWorks are completely leaving them in the dust with Wild Robot.
I mean, to be fair, they're doing this because The Lion King made over $1 billion, so there's that.
So money, as
money
Abba
talks.
say.
Money talks. Moving on to another trailer that I don't know. Did you watch this trailer, Franco?
Which one?
The one for Captain America: Brave New World.
I'm tired of Marvel. Sorry, guys. Disney's Lion King remake was the definition of creative bankruptcy. That's why I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I still haven't watched it, Bruce. I refuse to watch the Lion King remake. I refuse to watch it. Like, it's a principal thing for me.
However, it has a new generation of fans. It still has its fans, and like you want to keep your kids quiet, put Lion King on, the new Lion King.
Fair enough. With regard to the Captain America trailer, I will say Marvel really pulled out all the big guns for editing this trailer, because for how horrible the film looks, I'm going to be honest, the film looks really bad. But the editing for this trailer is really good. It's really well done. They really did a really good job.
Thank you, Andrea.
Did you edit this?
No.
Because the film looks bad, right? I'm going to be honest. A lot of the visuals look really awful. Now, a lot of the feedback for this film has also been very negative, so I might be biased from that. But looking at the trailer, the editing for the trailer is really good. It's really impressive. They really are doing their best at making this goofy looking film. It looks really bad with the whole Red Hulk element of it. It does not look good at all. They really manage, however, to make this film look like a serious thriller with the editing and with the way they're splitting the screen into two. They're just trying to make this look like some very serious, one of those 70s thriller, which clearly it is not, right? Because this is a very goofy looking film, in my opinion, like this editing, for example. They're really trying to make this look like a serious thriller. I mean, the CGI for this looks downright horrible. I have to be honest. The CGI looks downright horrible. If it was from, something like Furiosa, for example, I was understanding.
Can you go back? What was that?
Which one, Franco? The rockets launching?
No, and Anthony Mackie going through the door and pushing someone. What was that? Was he trying to push them away? No, before this one. Before this one. Oh my god, that's CG. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Why
the rockets look really
so not this one. So look at Anthony Mackie like forget the rockets. But keep it going.
Remember, you're watching a delay, Franco. So
sorry.
There's like a 5-second delay, so it's hard to match together. Is it the Anthony Mackie flying part?
No, I mean the landing. Jesus Christ! Even. Oh my God!
Yeah.
Christ.
No. The CG looks bad, and I think the CG for Red Hulk looks bad as well. Again, Uncanny Valley is incredible. Incredible Hulk, by the way, if anyone didn't get the pun. But yes, it's worrying. It's very worrying, and it's a pity because I think the Captain America the trilogy of Captain America films were very good films in my opinion. Especially the second Captain America film, I really enjoyed. Even the first one, to be fair, was a fine World War II thriller. I thought the Captain America trilogy were very good films. So it's a pity. Again, the editing. Hats off to the editing. They did a really good job. The film itself, I'm very worried about it. I'm very, very, very worried about it. This releases in February, so they don't have a lot of time to work on this. We're talking about like 4 months time. So yeah, we'll see. Anything else you want to add, Franco, about this?
No, I was saying why are you putting pink with red with the Sakura at the background with the Red Hulk? And Red Hulk should look even more not the brolic.
Oh, and that scene! Oh my God! Wait till you see the car scene with Anthony Mackie. Oh my God! It looks awful. Really bad.
So fucking static, man.
No. There's lots of work to be done on this.
There's no impact.
No,
there's no impact.
No. But moving on to something where I think we should be more excited about. And I love the ending of this trailer. The scene... Did you watch this trailer?
I linked it to you as well.
So the final scene when Tom Cruise says, "I need you to trust me one last time." Looks like he's looking at the audience. Yeah. And he's like, "Guys, trust me. I need you to trust you one last time. It's going to be a brilliant film." Very good use there of like breaking kind of breaking the fourth wall,
fourth
not at the same time. Oh, clearly he's talking to his team, right? But in the context of the trailer, I think it's quite clear what they're playing at there. What do you think about this trailer, Franco?
Another. So I think it would be another solid actioneer from Tom Cruise. I think the Mission Impossible franchise has been going from peak to peak. It seems like now they peaked again with that sequence of the plane.
Yes,
as
the plane
well.
scene, the plane scene.
I'm looking forward. I'm just looking forward to go watch this in the cinemas.
Yep.
And
Tom Cruise running. Lots of Tom Cruise
exactly.
running. Looking forward to that.
Is it? But this is the thing. Is it the final reckoning? Is it?
I think it should be the final reckoning, right?
Yeah,
Man,
yeah,
this scene,
yeah.
the flying scene is going to be crazy. Like, Tom Cruise, he always goes from one crazy like set piece stunt to another, from one film to another, and he's always trying to up himself every time. So my expectations are really high for this particular set piece. If you remember, Franco, the set piece in the last Mission Impossible, that was 6, right? Because this is 7 or 8. Wait, this is 8. This is 8.
Yeah.
So that reckoning. The one with the bike where he flies off with the bike. That's was incredible.
I remember the cinema going like holding my breath. Exactly.
Did you have a big audience with you when you watched it?
No, not much. But even the train sequence.
The train sequence is so beautiful. Yeah.
Go
ahead, Franco.
To be honest, I'm looking for the action. I don't know much about the plot. And some of the performances, because that's the last one. Some performances were slightly iffy, to tell you the truth, especially the villain when he goes Ethan.
Palm Clementif, right? That was Palm Clementif.
No.
Who was oh god, the guy who was representing AI, kind of.
Yeah.
Who was that actor? What's his name of that actor?
I forgot, but I think it's some Latin American actor, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yes.
Palm Clementif was great, and then again, even the way she switches to good, okay,
And Hayley Atwell, I wasn't the biggest fan of in the film either. I felt like the way they used her to replace Rebecca Ferguson was a little weird. I didn't like the way they replaced Rebecca Ferguson there.
Too convenient, almost.
Yes. Even in the scene, I rewatched the scene because I wanted to refresh my memory. And at the end of that scene, we see Hayley Atwell's face pop up behind Tom Cruise, just as the scene with him, kind of like seeing Rebecca Ferguson dead on the floor, and it's like, yeah, I'm the replacement now. And
there was no passing of the torch, so to speak.
No. I'm curious to see if I have a bit of a suspicion that she's not actually dead. I don't know why. I have a feeling that somehow she didn't die. I really have a feeling that she didn't die in the film. I'm not sure, but I have that feeling. We'll see, of course. So that's it with regard to trailers. Some news. We'll start off with this to continue off from D23, as we were discussing before. Not much to discuss here, but a couple of things. First of all, we've got news about Simon. Actually, let's start off with the Andor Season 2. We have the release date. And the release date for that is April 22nd, 2025, with Diego Luna returning, obviously, as Cassian Andor. Looking forward to that very much.
Speaking of the date, unfortunately, Mickey 17th has been pushed to April 18th, 2025 as well. So
unfortunately, and not because the January date was off. For me, that's not a January movie. That's not a thrash movie you throw in like January, right? So looking forward to April 22nd for Andor Season 2. And new Star Wars trilogy. Simon Kinberg, who used to take care of the X-Men films, had a couple of X-Men films, which is probably why he's taking over. He worked on on a couple of X-Men films, and he also worked on what did he work on? Rebels.
Yes,
Rebels,
Star Wars.
right? Yeah, which is probably obviously with Dave Filoni. So which is probably why they're trusting him with the trilogy, the upcoming trilogy. It'll be interesting to see, of course, whether this trilogy actually happens, because the amount of Star Wars films that have been announced and completely forgotten is ridiculous at this point. Like, what even is the point? I don't even know why we're talking about it, to be honest, because most probably this is never going to happen anyways, which is an issue, of course, with Star Wars, the leadership at Star Wars. With regard to, is Kinberg the right choice for this trilogy? Hard to say, right? Very hard to say, because so far, I mean, like we said, he's worked on Rebels, which I enjoyed. I really like Rebels, so fair enough. X-Men, so-and-so, right?
Dark Phoenix and The Last Stand.
Both not great, let's be honest. Both not great. Not awful, in my opinion. I think both were quite harshly reviewed, but still both not great films, in my opinion. So yeah, it's interesting to see where this will lead. And obviously the whole Kathleen Kennedy of it all, because, I mean, right now Star Wars cannot get a break. If we forget about Andor, like everything being released, especially with the Acolyte. The Acolyte was a big loss for them.
It should get a break, man. Like, leave the mythos alone, Madonna. Franchise. I don't know. I'll check it out. But honestly, it's not encouraging. I look forward for Andor season 2, obviously. Season 1 was a great political thriller, and they should focus more on that sort of grounding rather than still have the Force and whatnot. I mean, this could be, with Kinberg leading the trilogy, this could be almost X-Men in space now. And also forget the, it's like when they, what was it? That was the Rise of Skywalker. Oh, they fly now?
God.
Oh, they fly now. They fly now. Please stop marvelizing. This should have a certain element of theatricality. Give it to Denis Villeneuve and let it be. Like we saw what he did with Dune and how much he grounded the story and the images, how powerful they were. This will be more like how many in jokes shall we put in? And there's this quote here. He said to understand how. If you go further down, please. Just beneath the picture, there's the quote. He said to understand how to talk to film executives about franchise filmmaking in a way that allays their concerns about creative decisions affecting the costly bottom line of these kinds of projects. So it's basically this guy is a seller, not a writer. I mean, especially with considering with what he did. Like, he's going to tank the franchise, Bella, because especially with what happened with the X-Men, after all. Christ.
X-Men didn't end in a very... I mean, Dark Phoenix, again, I will repeat, I think the reactions to Dark Phoenix were very, very harsh. I think watching it recently, I got the Blu-ray for it, very cheap €3 Blu-ray, for what it's worth. And I watched it. It was an okay film. A very watchable, fine film. With a lot of issues, of course. Especially dealing with the writing of the story. Because the action and the visuals were very well done. Very, very well done. But the writing for certain characters especially was very disappointing, to be honest. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. To be honest, it's not news to get excited about, because again, in a year's time, we might be here again, Franco reacting to the fact that Simon Kinberg has stepped down and they're rebooting again and starting afresh. So with the way, and it's quite prescient that there's Kathleen Kennedy's face right now on screen. With the way the Star Wars leadership has been going, it's a big mess. It's a big mess.
Isn't there? I think they should do something along the lines of Alien Isolation. like Alien Isolation, for me, it was a perfect like franchise entry. It pays respect to its predecessors, sometimes a bit forcefully. So
Alien Romulus, I think. No, Franco.
yeah, sorry, Alien
Alien
Isolation is
Isolation was a great game. So
yeah.
amazing game. So if
So
Star
yeah,
Wars were to release something like Alien Isolation, I'd be very happy.
yeah. Alien Romulus as well. Alien Romulus was fun. There was that horror element, and they have stories to dig in, not try to make like Skeleton Crew as was said Goonies in space, and this is going to with Skimberg on board seems like it's going to be X-Men in space. I mean, and what happened with the Force? There was so much.
To be
So I think
fair,
that
Franco, with regard to the Force, there's lots they can get out of Rebels. Because Rebels go some very interesting ways. Not, I don't always agree with Rebels, and the fans don't always agree with Rebels and the directions it goes. But at least they take risks with the places. They take the kind of the Force, the concept of the Force, which at least take a risk, which is all we can ask, to be honest. Obviously, then sometimes the fans will enjoy it, sometimes the fans won't. But at least take a risk.
in all honesty, take a risk. Like Last Jedi.
Exactly. So, moving on to the last bit of news for the day. And good news for fans of Robert Eggers and good news for fans of horror. And especially if you're a fan of Dracula, this is also very good news because the vast majority of critics have been incredibly happy and have come out of the cinema praising Robert Eggers' next possible. We'll see. I haven't watched it, of course, but the question is, has Robert Eggers crafted another masterpiece? And we've got lots of critics here coming out saying they loved it. It's a knockout, spectacular, masterful, unnerving, spine-tingling, impressive streak, transportive period film with Nosferatu, seductively macabre film, surpasses the hype, period delight, fantastic horror tale, exquisitely mounted and efficiently told, superbly crafted, top-notch filmmaking, gorgeous and horrifically brilliant. Lots of, big words, right? Lots of big.
Superlatives. Okay, let's.
Where does it rank with Robert Eggers' movies? Best film, favorite Robert Eggers, most assured work, clearing his throat in cinema. He hasn't yet begun to sing, and I'm digging all of his numbers. Not my favorite Eggers, but excellent nevertheless. This worries me a little bit. Robert Eggers' most accessible film. That's probably one of the few criticisms I would have for The Northman. It felt a little too accessible for a Robert Eggers film. Like it was just Robert Eggers light, just a little bit in The Northman, and I assume that was more, the suits getting involved with the filmmaking there than Robert Eggers. We'll see but I mean, as we're seeing, Franco, this is, and then Joey Magidson says Nosferatu is unfiltered Robert Eggers. So, this is what I'm looking for, right? This is what we're looking for. What do you think, Franco?
No, I try. It's being hyped. It's being hyped too much. Please. This is where I get worried. It's like again, I'd rather go blind. No, as if direction, but these are the reactions from the critics. But again, I think there's always like he's a critic's darling, but with the audiences, he's much more of a cult director. Even with The Witch, like if you're into filmmaking and you really like movies and the way they're made, you'll love The Witch. But if you're more of a like someone says, like it might test the more impatient of viewers. So it's definitely not for the TikTok generation, so to speak. I mean, So
that might be an issue. Yes, might very much be an issue.
So it's much so to speak. It's like adult filmmaking. So we would appreciate it. The general public will have to see if they appreciate it. Because I have to give, like, for example, Northman was very accessible and very action oriented. That even for someone who've never seen an Eggers movie, they would start with Northman, and then if they go to see The Lighthouse, they said, "Is this?" They would be like, "Is this the same director?" And I fucking love The Lighthouse. I think
Yes,
it's
yes.
better for me. I know I might be. It's a hot take. I prefer it than The Witch.
No.
Yes.
I love The Lighthouse. I really love I mean, Lighthouse is a 5 out of 5, but The Witch is a 6 out of 5.
No, I prefer it to The Witch. Sorry, as like
Okay.
even visually and how there's this element of cosmic horror to it as well. No, not to diminish The Witch. The Witch has such the texture of that movie is amazing.
Franco, do you remember Robert Eggers saying that now that he watches The Witch today, he sees lots of
doesn't like
problems
it,
with
yeah.
it, he doesn't like it? And I'm like, no, that's one of my all-time favorite films. Why are you
And
shitting on your own film?
and that's why The Lighthouse is my favorite.
But to be fair, it's a good sign as well, because he's looking at his work and seeing, listen, okay, I made this mistake, this is how to improve. Apparently, Franco, and no spoilers, of course, but the final scene for Nosferatu is batshit crazy. Yes.
Okay.
There's a final scene. And, oh my God, what's the name of... Lily Rose Depp. Lily Rose Depp, who I had seen her, and she was actually very good in... Oh, The Idol. And to be fair, she actually was acting her heart out in that series. It was just a terrible series. Just a terrible series, honestly. But apparently she's brilliant in this. She's very, very good in this. Are you a fan of the Murnau classic, Franco? And then we'll move on.
I haven't watched the classic. That's another blind spot for me. So I need to get on with some classics.
With regard to Dracula, I watched the Bram Stoker one, the Bram Stoker's Dracula, the Francis Ford Coppola. I watched the Murnau one. I haven't watched the Werner Herzog one. That one
that's Nosferatu as well,
that's
right?
Nosferatu. Is it? It might be. I don't know.
Oh no,
I'm not sure.
No, it's not Shadow of the Vampire. Let me check.
I'm not sure. But that one I haven't watched, the Werner Herzog one. I really need to get onto it. Actually, I really need to get onto a lot of Werner Herzog.
It's Nosferatu the Vampire.
Okay. I really need to get onto a lot of Werner Herzog when I have some time. I think Fitzcarraldo and Aguirre are the two films I've watched from him. The only two films I've watched.
I've only watched his documentaries, Werner Herzog, and wait a second, he also had a movie with what's his name, with Nicolas Cage. No, I think it was just a second. Bad Lieutenant, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans. I like that. It's very interesting. It was a very interesting combination.
I need to rewatch. I need to rewatch Aguirre and I need to rewatch Fitzcarraldo and then get into his other stuff because I've honestly forgotten his work, to be honest. All right, viewers and listeners. Now, hello, by the way, to all 7 viewers. Good to have you here, and I hope you're having a good time with the Ad Lib Podcast. We're going to move on now to the reviews. The reviews are going to be a little short because I have to go watch a film. Funnily enough, not studying, but I have to go watch a film because we're going to be talking about it on Thursday, and there's no other time for me to watch it if not tonight, basically. But we have a couple of series. Actually, let me start off with a disclaimer first. As you know, the Alfonso Cuarón show, which unfortunately I believe barely anyone is watching, which is a big pity. Based on the book by René Knight of the same name. It's a fantastic adaptation, in my opinion. I think it's beautifully directed. The cinematography is absolutely incredible. Fantastically showcases the story, the basically 3 stories we see with Cate Blanchett in the present, Kevin Kline's character in the present, and obviously Cate Blanchett 20 years ago, who gets involved in an affair with the character who is Kevin Kline's son, basically. I believe, disclaimer, is one of the best shows of the year. especially in the way it portrays the untrustworthy narrative, in the sense that for most of the show, we're only showcased one story, one point of view of what happened 20 years ago. When we get to the 7th episode, and the 7th episode starts off, and now you will hear my voice, now I will get to say my side. It shows you how much you cannot trust. You always have to kind of like look at both sides of the story, right? You can never just say, okay, this guy said this, so obviously, even when it looks very obvious, even when the story looks very obvious and it looks like, yes, definitely this person did all this bad stuff. I'm trying to explain this without spoiling anything, basically, which is very hard. But overall, I believe Disclaimer is a fantastic show. I highly recommend everyone checking out. Kevin Kline, who you can see on screen right now, gives a fantastic performance. The emotions he brings out in this show are going to make you cry. They're going to make you laugh at times. They're going to make you cringe, but cringe with the character, not at the character. They're going to make you feel horrified at certain scenes that you will see. Just fantastic stuff. The young Kate Blanchett, what's her name? Oh my God. What's the name of the young Kate Blanchett? Leela George. So good. So good. Really good portraying Catherine, obviously, that's Kate Blanchett. Leslie Manville had some fantastic episodes as well. Sacha Baron Cohen is there. It doesn't really have much to work with, to be honest. Sacha Baron Cohen doesn't really have much to work with. Kate Blanchett is Kate Blanchett, of course. She's fantastic in anything. We see her in Lewis Partridge. Oh my God, what a twist. That's a very good twist for Lewis Partridge. And showing some really good range in this show as well. So overall, fantastic show, really well written. One thing I'm still not convinced about is the voiceover narration. There's a lot of voiceover narration in this show, showing the points of view of the different characters and the emotions from the different characters. Sometimes it works. For example, I watched, what the hell did I watch? The Bresson film, A Man Escaped, where the voiceover narration worked really well in A Man Escaped. Here, I'm not convinced we really needed it for most of the time. I know, obviously, it's being done to match with the book, with the tone of the book, right? Which gives the same kind of like first-person point of view from different characters. I'm not sure we really needed it. I think the actors are good enough to portray the emotions they're feeling. Like, we didn't need Kate Blanchett's narration telling us how she felt. Her eyes, her body language did all of that. Right, so that's the one thing I would disagree with. Apart from that, great season finale, series finale actually, great series finale, really impressive stuff. Go check it out. It's on Apple TV+. Second show I wanted to talk about was The Penguin, and I'll conclude with this, and then Franco will start discussing, obviously, Different Man. I thought The Penguin is now it's here. We've had our season finale. I'm really considering whether this is the best show of the year, whether this or Shogun is the best show of the year. Because the ending for episode 8 of The Penguin just blew me away. Like, I just took... I'm watching it and I want to shout at the television. I want to break the television. I want to stop the episode because of how horrific the scene was. But at the same time, how good Colin Farrell's acting was in the final scene. Like, the final scene is going to make you rage. It's going to make you cry. It's going to make you shout. It's going to make you angry. It's going to make you sad. It's a whirlwind of emotions. It's just so good. Like, this is a must watch, a must watch. Right now on IMDb, it's got an 8.8. Very well deserved. Again, Shogun was also an excellent series, and again, the season finale for Shogun was brilliant as well. Both brought out really strong emotions from me. It's going to be really hard to decide between the two. It's going to be really hard, but both 5 out of 5 shows, honestly. Obviously, special mention also to Christine Milioti, who gives a powerhouse performance in this show. even in this season finale, her outfits are just to die for. I love her outfits. I really, really love the outfits that they chose for her. And I was listening to an interview from her. She mentioned how she does a lot of her character does a lot of speaking through the outfits,
The outfits.
that she wears. Sometimes feeling powerful, sometimes not feeling powerful, and the outfit showcases that. Obviously, her acting is also brilliant. So a couple of really, really great performances from Colin Farrell and Christine Milioti, beautifully shot, really, really well done. Really can feel this is the world of Matt Reeves, right? Which is something that I'm a little worried about for next week's series coming out, which is Dune Prophecy. I'm a little worried that so it's basically kind of like the same concept, right? Although one is a prequel and one is kind of a sequel. But will Dune Prophecy feel like the world constructed by Denis Villeneuve, or will it be like a Denis Villeneuve light? The Penguin never felt like Matt Reeves' light. It always felt like Matt Reeves' world. Always with the small question mark of where the hell is Batman, right? I think Batman should be... if all the stuff in the Penguin was going on, I would have imagined that the Batman would have gotten himself involved. But whatever, right? Obviously, the focus here is very much on the Penguin as a character.
I think I was gonna say something about because to continue on the point of Star Wars. Maybe they should take a page out of DC, and like this is a Batman show without Batman, and so grounded, so lived in, and basically if they can pull off an Andor, but from a different facet or a different perspective, or even if they involve the Force or something, they would make a really great film, basically, or a great new trilogy. But anywho.
Yeah. So overall, check out The Penguin. It's beautiful, it's well constructed, it's great storytelling, fantastic dialogue, and the performances are just mind-blowing. Like this, the last two episodes, the kind of development we get for the Penguin in the last two episodes is really, really good. Really, really good stuff. Yeah, so that is the Penguin. Franco, want to set off with A Different Man?
A Different Man with Sebastian Stan. Sebastian Stan, we reviewed The Apprentice last week, and now we watched another powerhouse performance by Sebastian Stan.
In Thunderbolts.
No. He was so good in this. Apparently, I saw some. By the way, because it's some. I think some media outlets are there just for clickbait. Apparently, this movie is ableist.
Why?
I don't know why, but I just saw like the title was A Different Man is an ableist movie that should not have been written. Like,
What?
have they seen the director, by the way, who not to be grotesque, he has a cleft palate. Have they seen also the previous movie he's done? The director, he worked with Adam Pearson as well. That's why he did this one. I forgot. I forgot what was the name
Chained
of the
for
previous
Life.
movie.
Yeah.
And in all honesty, A Different Man. I want to watch it again because the experience was a bit disturbed by my cat because he kept coming up for cuddles and I lost a bit concentration. But A Different Man really puts you in the like puts you in a sort of dilemma whether not sort of dilemma. It has a great questions about appearance and whether it's like what's inside that counts or it's like how you look. And Adam Pearce, I really loved Adam Pearson as well. Like he's such a confident man. Renate Reinsve, I think this is her English language debut. I'm in love with her, and darkly funny movie.
Mm-hmm.
And there were some moments where what was it? There was also like a bit of body horror. I agree with basically what you said, that this is the substance, but
The male response, to the substance, just a little subdued compared to the substance.
Yes. Very, very subdued, but there was also some interesting choices, like when he zooms in, like
yes. I really enjoyed Franco. These are realist elements of it, like the dripping of the water, like
very surreal. It's and I will also take note of the soundtrack. I haven't heard such a good soundtrack in ages.
Who did the soundtrack for this?
It's very very memorable. Even that it was sort of, I forgot if it was sort of jazzy. But I have to listen to it again, because it was a memorable one. Umberto Merilli,
known for the Bunker Game. Don't recognize any of these films.
It's Umberto Merilli.
Interesting, but yes, I agree, and also the cinematography. I looked it up. 16mm, really beautiful. Really beautiful film.
It is in line with A24 look as well. Huh?
Did it remind you, Franco, of like a Woody Allen film in the way it looks? I was watching it. I'm like, Madonna, this looks like a Woody Allen film. Watching it, I was like, Jesus, this is just like what when I'm watching a Woody Allen film. This looks just the same. I don't know why. Just the look of it, something about it. Probably the 16mm is what made me think that.
Like I said, to be honest, I have to rewatch this, and to tell you the truth, I was a bit shocked, because I thought that going in blind watching the movie, I thought that Sebastian Stan and Adam Pearson were playing the same character. And then I saw behind the scenes of Sebastian Stan getting in character and with the mask, which is like hold on, like I thought, and then I realized that they're basically two different persons, and yeah, it's even the ending is so funny. Oh,
very dark humor. The ending, very much. Yeah.
Yes, it is surreal, darkly funny. This scene, I was laughing. It's so dark. Where basically, they're taking in a dead body, and the ice cream van passes, and they start.
I was laughing so much in the ice cream van scene, and he's arguing with them. It's like classic New York.
and that body. Plus, you have to know how that body came about.
Yes, what on that? So dark. I love it.
It asks great questions, and any if you see some sort of votes called saying, "Oh, this movie's ableist," fuck him. Watch it.
No.
Make your own conclusion. If anything, this is one of the movies that I was so happy to see. It challenges you, because you have to get used to you're not used with the way certain people look, which it is an unfortunate thing. But then they have their talent, and I think there was a scene that was horrifying, the way he used the mask.
Yes.
Oh my god!
When she asked him to use the mask.
That is.
Madonna.
Oh my god! But I think I gave it a 4 on 5, but again, because my experience was a bit like all over the place. I would want to watch it again.
I gave it a 4.5, to be honest. Maybe I was a bit too kind. Maybe I could have given it a 4, to be honest. But I enjoyed it. It's such a good experience with the film. I was like, I don't know why would I give it a 4, not a 4.5? Like I had so much fun. I laughed. I felt emotional. I had a really good experience with it. I'm like, I'm trying to think. I'm like, this is. I said in my mind when the film finished, it's probably a 4 out of 5 film. But I'm constantly thinking, but what did I not enjoy out of it?
No,
nothing. Like the writing is very strong, the acting is excellent. It's emotional, it's darkly funny, beautifully shot, well produced. The concept is fascinating and something unique and new. Not completely unique, because obviously, like even in my review, I said it's like there are tinges of the Elephant Man, of course, and Freaks and so on. But still quite a unique take in the whole play element of it, right? Which is very interesting, because then you get into the looks and talent discussion of it all, which is another interesting discussion that this film brings up. Well paced as well. It's 1 hour 52 minutes. I think tells the story very efficiently. So overall, I'm like, doesn't make sense. This is a 4.5 for me. Not a masterpiece, but still a very, very, very good film. So 4.5 from me, Franco.
Most probably, it's with the second viewing, it's going to be a 4.5 as well, because it's like you said, it's a movie that keeps you thinking after like at the end of the day. It's like who is supposed to change, the character or us as a society? You know, so it's a good. I haven't seen. It's a movie that keeps you thinking. And again, even just to listen to it is also amazing with the soundtrack.
And to conclude, just gonna give a quick comment about the Outrun. I think the Outrun is a decent film with an incredible performance. This is the classic. The film is fine. Nothing wrong with the film. It's a fine film. Makes good use of its setting. It's the whole concept is very interesting. Of course, you've got Saoirse Ronan portraying an alcoholic, Rona. The way the story is told is a little bit confusing because it's a non-linear narrative. Basically, simple concept is Rona is a recovering alcoholic who travels to the Orkney Islands in Scotland to trying to get away from it all in London. And over there, she starts thinking back on her past experiences as an alcoholic, her ex-boyfriend, Danon, her being a biology graduate student, she's a master's student, and she's trying to recover, right? And obviously she's faced by temptation again in the Orkney Islands and so on and so forth, basically. I'll say, like I said, the storytelling is non-linear. It makes sense in the concept of the film because this is like a drifting person, right? Drifting, her memories are drifting. So the non-linear narrative makes sense in that. It was a little confusing at times, I will be honest. I think it makes good use of its setting. I think the setting of the Orkney Islands makes very, very good use. A very beautiful ending. I will say it has a beautiful, beautiful ending. The way it kind of all builds up to the final moment next to the sea is really well done. Overall, however, I will say also, yes, I did love the metaphor that the filmmaker built between nature, kind of like her link with nature and her recovery. Kind of like her addiction to alcohol kind of drew her away from her love for nature. She's, of course, a biology student, so that's the link between her and nature, of course. But we see that link tested throughout the film until the ending. The ending is, I think, very beautiful, very metaphorical, and it's well done. Apart from that, I will say the film, its pacing is a little off sometimes. I think the cinematography is fine, nothing off there. But the real standout, of course, is Saoirse Ronan. Saoirse Ronan, I do have one thing I want to say about Saoirse Ronan now, however. She gives an amazing performance, like incredible performance, and I do believe she deserves an Oscar nomination for this film. But I think Saoirse Ronan now needs to start thinking not about great characters which speak to her, but about great films in which she can take a good character and turn it great. Because this is a classic Saoirse Ronan character. A wounded female who has been through horrible experiences in the past. She's trying to recover from those. You know, it's a classic Saoirse Ronan performance.
She's typecasting herself, yeah.
A little bit, yes. And again, it's an amazing performance. Definitely deserves an Oscar nomination, in my opinion. She's incredible in this. Like, the stuff she does with her eyes, with her body, the physical performance she gives here, the emotional performance is great stuff. She's one of the best actresses right now. I mean, clearly, right? I do believe, however, she now needs to start taking into consideration also not just the role, but also the film in general. And I do believe she could be in, The Outrun is a good film. She could be in better films, however, in my opinion, right? She could be in a much better film. Something like Little Women, for example, which was an amazing film, which was an absolute masterpiece in my opinion, right? Same thing with Foe, for example. I haven't watched Foe, but I've heard, both Paul Mescal and her give decent performances, but the film itself is very bad. I'm very much looking forward to Blitz. I read the Steve McQueen interview about Blitz on
It's Steve McQueen.
Yes,
It's Steve
Steve
McQueen.
Yes, it's Steve McQueen. I'm very much looking forward to it. I read the Steve McQueen interview on. Oh my God, what's the magazine I read every month? Just so.
Sight and Sound.
On Sight and Sound. It's right here on Sight and Sound, because the last Sight and Sound was Steve McQueen. So yeah, that's the one thing I'll say about Saoirse Ronan. Apart from that, and to conclude the podcast because it's 21:36, I will say it's a very good film. I gave it I believe at 3.5. It's an average 3.5. Could have easily been a 3, but the Saoirse Ronan performance, I think, really pushes it.
By the way, before we conclude, news just in. Apparently, this just came out. Mattel apologizes for link to porn site on Wicked movie doll boxes.
Oh my God, yes, the doll box. I saw that. www.wicked.com, I think it was. I hope we don't get banned for mentioning. But if Mattel can get away with a porn site on their toys for kids. So it's clearly not for kids.
Exactly. So anyone who has kids and tries to get the dolls, please make sure not. I think make sure not to check the site out.
Yep. All right, and with that, thank you so much to all 8 viewers who are live right now on the podcast. Thank you so much to everyone for joining us. Franco, short but sweet episode today. Next week, we will have Gladiator 2 to talk about. 2. It's going to be an exciting episode. Ooh. Looking forward to that.
Ooh.
I don't know what to expect.
Some reactions I've seen. Ooh. Well, but we go in and check it for ourselves.
Yes. It's really hard to go into that film with neutral opinion, because the reactions I've seen to it have been very extreme, both positive and negative in certain cases. So it's really hard to get it, but mostly positive, to be honest. Mostly positive.
It's impossible to have a movie like this which exists in the shadow of its predecessor, So we'll see. Are
you going to watch it, Franco?
I think I was going with the Pricklies as well. So
okay. I'm going on Sunday because I had booked tickets a long time ago with my mom and dad.
All right.
So we're going to watch it on Sunday.
I don't know if I'll see when I watch it. I'm trying to avoid packed cinemas. You know why?
True. We'll see. Hopefully it's not too packed it's got to be packed. I mean, it's the Gladiator, right?
Exactly.
But anyways, I'm going to set off. I'm going to set off. See you next week, guys. It's going to be an exciting episode with Gladiator 2. It's going to be a long review for that one. See you guys next week. And Franco, I'm not going to see you this week since you're going on Saturday. Probably we'll go to Wicked, right? Because Francesca is going to make us go watch Wicked, probably.
No, I refuse. Gladiator 2, fine. Wicked.
We'll see.
We'll see. Anyway.
Thank you to all the viewers and listeners. See you guys next time on the Ad Lib Podcast. Ciao.